what does our blue Ballio have there? Blue Ballio, and this today we read the Lucha Brothers, the Mask Republic LuchaVerse issue number 1. Enjoy! Alrighty, on the first page when you open up for the LuchaVerse, Lucha Brothers, we see at the top there's a scripture we've got, there is a secret history to the unknown of the modern man. A time of gods, monsters, warriors, and a mask that granted them powers. It's history that will soon be rediscovered in a world that shall come to be known as the LuchaVerse. It's a pretty cool little thing that they've got at the top there, and then they've got a major description saying Lucha Brothers, and then the next part they've got they are arguably the greatest team in modern day Lucha Libre brothers. Penta, Zero M, and Rey Fénix were orphaned at birth and raised by missionaries who traveled the world teaching them about a multitude of cultures, and each one of their fighting styles now as adults simply became one of the greatest luchadors isn't enough for Penta. With the help of his brother, he has found the location of an ancient power that believes that he can make the greatest warriors of the world has ever known. There's a pretty little cool art of the both of them there, and it has a lot of shout outs to the people that made the story, script, penciled the ink, and all of that. So I'm not going to botch their names, so I'm not even going to say that, but I am going to say all rights and copyrights go all straight to the Master Republic LuchaVerse, or that's all their work. I'm just reading it out because a lot of people need to see their comics. Their comics are pretty cool. I have a cool little quote from George R.R. Martin. In real life, the hardest aspect of the battle between good and evil is determining which is which. And over here, as we look, we've got some fire that Fénix is trying to battle off with demons all in it. And same goes for Penta Zero M, or Pentagon Jr., fighting off some smoke. This comic starts off with the Lucha Brothers in the ring against some generic heels, some Rick Rude bootleg and a Masked Man bootleg. As we can see here, Irish whip straight from Penta. Ref is getting distracted. Rick Rude's in the corner. He can see some scratchety going on. Something shifty is going under his little bracelet type sleeve. Fénix calls out the ref during the match saying, "Come on, keep your eyes on the match," only for Fénix to cop a mist straight to the eyes. The ref looks back, only for Penta to be covered. 1, 2, 3. Hey man, what did that lock ever do to you? Don't do this, Fénix. Not now. What do you mean? It's just a match. We can't win them all. Are you kidding me? This isn't just a match. This is our livelihood. This is what we have to be, the best, the strongest, the greatest of the luchadors. You're just becoming obsessed again. It's not obsession, if it's the truth. Look, I know you've heard this all before, but this time I'm really onto something. This time it's different. I just need you to give me a chance, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Fine, one more chance, but I'll remember when this goes belly up. See here, Pentagon's got something up his sleeve. I don't ever want to hear about it again. In the blue text box at the top, I know this sounds ridiculous, but what I'm telling you is all true. How can you be so sure? Fénix says. Straight to the other side now, we have Fénix saying, we're all talking about a corporation that believes in a new fairy tale origin of mankind. Far-fetched than Christianity or Buddhism. We're talking real gods and monsters here. Carvings from a tree that reached out into the heavens and granted the wearer's power. We see some Sentai corp that survived imprisoned in a sarcophagus as it slumbers for eternity, protected by a guardian wielding unbelievable power. I've heard this story so many times I practically memorized it. Point being, we're taking the real power here. Could be ours, but we can only defeat the Guardian. So we see here Penta is losing his mind a bit with it. And is there a key, Phoenix states? What's the catch? Penta straight away. It's the only way. I'll take an indie bookings at this point. And this is when we jump 2 weeks later straight to the Sentai Corporation in Texas. You can see in a blue box here because last I checked, there's always a catch. Straight to Penta Zero M. I told you I was right. I mean, who has this much protection for a company that deals in cybersecurity? Phoenix replies, I already told you, you were right about 6 robots ago. I just want to know how many of these things are left. They're going to run out at some point. So we get some funny little illustration of them just destroying. Crash! So I'm guessing something big must have happened. All straight to the control room of the Sentai Corporation. Ma'am, we feel like it's within our duty to remind you that we still have reservations when it comes to these two, and while they are very efficient, it gets continued on by another person. We feel would have been far less of a waste of resources just to hire and then they get interrupted. And yet you still feel need to bring this up with me. Remember, these two are only here because I've allowed it. They continue on because I'll allow it, because I create the narrative, and they are now a part of. If nothing else, you remember this, she controls the story, controls the outcome, and lives to tell the story that everyone will remember. Straight from the other person now of the control room has to apologize. Our apologies, ma'am. It won't happen again. It just further proves that we're on the right path, and let them throw whatever they want at us. I'm not giving up until we reach at the end. A lot of screams coming. Well, it looks like we hit a nerve straight from Phoenix's mouth. They look like they're bashing a lot of robots here, getting the upper hand. Now we look to our right. We've got, attention, all security personnel. We have a personal break-in. We are to proceed with the haste and dispose of the intruders. They cannot be allowed to reach the bottom of the building. A lot of locking mechanisms straight away go on. Again, they cannot be allowed to reach the bottom. Use of much excessive force has been authorized. So straight away coming in, as we can see, Phoenix and Penta. Given what we just went through, I wouldn't expect any less than once. The doors are open. Are you ready? More than you ever know, this is the culmination of everything we've gone through. All those sleepless nights, it's all led up to this, brother. Now, as we see here, we got 18 years ago in St. Agatha's orphanage. They're all playing soccer there, some parents in the background. Are they wearing luchador masks? I'm guessing this is a young Penta and Phoenix. Unfortunately, yes, they've become quite fond of the sport. That's so cute. Do they wear them all the time? We've tried to take them off them, but the mask, and they're so incredibly stubborn, they've each given each other new names. See a bit more soccer going on, but we can see Penta, I'm guessing, taking down someone, and we see Phoenix Animal straight away. Get off him, Zazaref. I will not repeat myself. Do not make me take off your mask, young man. This fight leads straight to the office. How many times have I told you, Zazaref, and yet you refuse to listen? That kid's just a jerk and had it coming. Not the answer she was looking for, bro. Phoenix being all funny. This all leads to the nun saying, thank you, Emilio. Maybe sometime you should try talking sense into this little boy. Mexican word for little boy. And then Phoenix replies with, maybe you should try taking our side. This only infuriated the nun and speaking multiple Mexican words. Take your side. You're lucky I don't take the ruler to your hands and like the other sisters have begged me to do. I will let you wear your silly mask. I'll even let you speak your mind. Then we hear a knock. Knock. Guardians come in. They were talking to the nuns beforehand. Hope we're not intruding, but we couldn't wait to meet you two. How's it going, you boys? You were fantastic out there. Oh, I love the masks. Sister Gloria, who's this weird lady? Sister Gloria saying, I was hoping I'd have some time to explain, but surprise, these are your new parents. So a bit of a turn 18 years ago at Sister Agatha's orphanage. A twist here, and we are jumping straight back into the Sentai Corporation, where we see sub level 37 with Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. Penta Zero M just smashing everyone. Sub level 31. We've got more of the smacking brains of robots, mechanisms just going all over the place. Does that robot have a root finger in the back? Sub-level 27. More cracks and cravens, sub-level 18. And we see more fighting. We're saying Agatha's orphanage. We see, this is so cool. Are you seeing this, man? Young Phoenix says to young Penta, yeah, I'm right here, seeing all the Japanese. Right? No, it's freaking amazing. Young Penta and Phoenix talk to each other while in a museum. It looks like straight to a red belt karate session where Penta is kicking some lethal butt. And then we see straight for them in a boat. I hope we never leave Asia. Me too. Glad you guys are enjoying your time here, but don't get too attached. Remember, we are only here for the Houses of the Homeless program. It's good to have some fun, but never forget what's important, and that's to help others. I cannot believe you two are stealing. Are you kidding me? But I didn't do anything. It was Zazareth, Phoenix says. It doesn't matter, Mascara. You're his brother. You should have stopped him. He's older than me, and he would have pummeled me, Phoenix replies. And I thought you, Zazareth, referencing to Penta, I thought I taught you better. You're supposed to set an example for your brother. He's younger and looks up to you. Penta replies, look, I don't know what you want from me. I just wanted it, and since you and Mum weren't going to get it for me, I figured why not? Father at the time, but that's the problem, and I get a temptation to be a very powerful thing, and not caring, that's even worse. Just remember, boys, no matter how hard the world becomes or how much pressure goes onto you, just remember these words. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in abundance of his possessions. We head straight back to the Sentai Corporation as sub-level 7. We see Penta kicking some butt. Then we see Shining Wizard by Phoenix on sub-level 6. Sub-level 5 we see straight Penta with the Rib Crusher. Straight off head with Phoenix sub-level 4. Straight pile driver by Penta, sub-level 3. Sub-level 2, Phoenix with the pile driver, and they finally make it down to sub-level 1 where they both do a tag team punch. Led to a confrontation with the doctor and a mum. I'm sorry, I wish you were different, but this time the results came back positive. Again, this is 14 months later from Japan. I just don't understand how this could have happened to us, given the conditions you two subjected to over the years. I'm not surprised, the doctor says. With the father responding back, I can't believe the company would do this to us and not say a thing. But what about our boys? So at this point, we're trying to find out, is the company firing them, or are they just getting a medical condition done? Who's going to take him to Escoban? This is going to crush them. It will be okay, honey. We'll figure something out. I'm not going to tell you again, son. What are you going to do? It doesn't matter. None of this matters. The universe doesn't care. The company you work for didn't care. All that is good. And where did it get you? If that's what you believe, then go to your room and we're done here. They're getting frustrated and tipping over his food on the table. You know what? Screw this and screw you. We can see some dark times hinting for Penta. Back to the present time with Penta and Phoenix back in the Sentai Corporation. That's us. Yes, that's definitely us. Why do we suddenly get the feeling that someone's been pulling the strings the entire time? So, what are they looking at? What are you doing? Trying to figure out if there's a way our future is on the other side of this wall. Didn't you just hear what I said? I did, and I don't care. We're only here for the one thing, and whether it's by chance or someone else is doing, it doesn't change the end of the game. Looking at the art, somehow it cracks open just like a door, leading out some green goo slash. Hello, it's been a while since any guests down here. They've called on Shurato in case where you're wondering. Now I give you the whole dog and pony show about this being my job and how you cannot be allowed to awaken the fallen. But since you're here, it's probably not for anything good. I just figure out we just might move on to something whole kicking the crap out of each other. You talk too much, but I like the way you think. It's going to be fun kicking your ass. I'm gonna paint the walls red with your blood. Did you just say that? That's so 90s, the monster says. Yeah, he can be clearly dramatic, but he's right. We're going to kick your ass, Phoenix replies. Oh, you two are so much fun, monster leads Phoenix and Penta to run straight towards him. Is he transforming? Excellent. Penta's loving the whole fight going on. Monsters running towards him now. We see Penta and Phoenix getting all ready at this point. Cute, but useless against me. Only a righteous man may advance. You fill your hearts with greed. And now they're all fighting. We see the scene where he's getting the upper hand, not feeling any damage whatsoever. Monster saying your moves would have more weight and be more efficient if they were coming from a place of desire, but instead from a place of selflessness. Penta replies at this moment, if I needed to hear nothing but endless chatter, I would. And before he could even finish off the sentence, we see in the next picture, the next description here, the monster just punches Phoenix with such power, crashes him straight into the wall, with Phoenix yelling, Penta, he is of no use to you anymore. Now pay attention or your fate will be the same. Straight from the monster's mouth. Phoenix straight away goes to the monster. I'm gonna, and before he could even finish, the monster replies back, kick my ass. Yes, you did mention that before, but still waiting, by the way. So at this moment we go to the next page and find out that Phoenix and the monster are having a monster brawl session with hands coming off the monster to give him those punches. That's how powerful this monster is. Every hit Phoenix is taking with a might, but Phoenix's hits are doing nothing. As we can see here in a little scripture with his dad in the smoke, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist of the abundance of his possessions. Another quote, only a righteous man may advance with a heart filled with greed. Phoenix just doesn't punch. He waits for the punch. Finally, it's been so long since a righteous man has blessed me with his presence. You may advance, but realize power has its price. What's happened, Phoenix? What are you doing? Penta all worried. The power, it's so painful, but it's not like what we thought. So much history, the pain pouring through me. Oh God, we should have known. There's always there must be a balance. And out of nowhere, screw your balance. Penta with a sword stabs his own brother. So we do not know what's going on here until we hit this next page. But it looks like it's pretty full on at this moment. And is Phoenix dead? Break. And as we head towards the next page, we see Penta in grievance. No, Phoenix, what have I done? Penta dropped the sword here in sorrow, but out of nowhere, something mystic starts happening. We see some flame start coming out of Phoenix's back, and some smoke coming straight out of Penta's mouth. Ah, he yells, what's going on? I think the power has somehow split the two of us, but these powers, you need something to know. Wait, you killed me. Massive transformation, looking like Power Rangers at this point. This feels, it's so amazing. Better than I could ever imagine, Penta says. Yeah, it's not bad, except one problem, Phoenix says. What's that? Penta replies. As we can see, they're in the full get-up here, looking more evolved like Pokemon. But it's good. I actually like this. If they brought this as actual ring gear, it wouldn't be too bad. But then out of nowhere, we see Phoenix straight hit his brother in the jaw. You effing murderer. Penta replies, I deserve that, but you gotta understand where I was coming from. Phoenix replies back, are you kidding me? You killed me. There's no coming back from that. But I know, but if you'll just listen, and it's too late to colossal purple beam shooting straight out of the Sentai Corporation, and it says to be continued. As we can see a little quote on the side here, ignorance is the root of stem of all evil. Plateau, to be continued. This video, make sure you give it a like, a share, a sub, a cousin, but also remember that the LuchaVerse is a current comics running. We've got the next month from this issue, a Tiny Blast Jr. He's fighting some demon demogorgons that we can see at the bottom here, but on the next page, as we see a little sneak peek of the Rey Mysterio comic. So if you're into Rey Mysterio, you like comics, you like luchas, why not just pick this one up? We see in this one is pretty good. The story in this, we've got some military behind some Rey Mysterio. That'd be very interesting to read. If you would like me to purchase this and read this to you guys, make sure to add that to the comments. And also, we've got a Joey Ryan comic book. That's right, since he's a part of the Lucha Underground, I'm guessing he gets his own LuchaVerse. Next, but not least, we've got a bit of a shout out to Lucha Central. They've got daily news, interviews, photos, all of that on www.luchacentral.com, and we've got a bit of Rey Mysterio advertising right at that top there. And then, believe it or not, right on to the next page, we've got coming soon the official apparel of the Lucha Brothers. Make sure you give them a bit of a like, share on what you can find the Lucha Brothers. Now we've got here another advertising, but this advertising is none other for WWE 2K19. Yes, this comic book is a bit old. I did get it from the Pro Wrestling Crate, but I haven't had time to read it. But last but not least, on the final page at the back of Pro Wrestling Tees, that's preferably where I get my Pro Wrestling Tees. It's a very good shop. Enjoy, and if you like the video again, just give it a like. Thank you.